Hello, Instagram. No one is there. Hello, Facebook. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. I have a very special guest. Hello, Yaz. How are you today? Who else is here? Oh, let me tag what we're making today before I introduce my special in-person guest. At Gil. Oh, maybe I should do at Gillips. Hey, Yaz, are you cooking along today? Hello, Angie and Z. Pin comment. Hello, Facebook. I don't think anyone's there. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. This light is making me extra white, looking like Casper today. I would like to, before we get started, let's wait for a few more people to get in here. Hey, Pharaoh. Oh, everyone's real excited for you. Amina's here. I think she's cooking along today. Welcome everyone to Real Life Cooking, the show where we make a meal from start to finish in under an hour, typically, maybe a few minutes over or so. But today we're gonna go really fast because we have an expert chef. Well, he'd like to think so. And one of my really good friends that I've known for a very long time, and I'm not even gonna tell you how long because that will age me. Gil Garza is in the house, the building tonight. He's here, live in the flesh. He's part of my little bubble, pandemic bubble. One of the few friends I get to see in person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any words you'd like to say?
I'd like to say hello to everybody. We're live. We're in Harlem, okay? Beautiful blacks, beautiful Latinos. We just chilling, man. We just kicking it right now. We kicking it right now. We on 120 something or something.
Don't tell people where I live.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I want to give a shout out to all the Harlem cats. You know, of course, Cameron, Dipset, Z Santiago. Shout out to him. Shout out to DJ Brucey B in the place to be. And who else? Am I done? Okay,
I don't know. You have more people to shout out.
And Jay Carroll.
Okay. Jason. Oh yeah, Jason. Long time no see. Well, like I said, today we are making steak frites, which is essentially steak and fries. Gil and I went over this menu very exhaustively. We went through so many options because Gil loves to eat, just like I do. And he's hungry. So let's go ahead and get started today. The first thing that we're gonna do is actually cut our potatoes because we want to get those soaking in some water. So I'm gonna show Gil how to do one. Then I'm gonna let him do one and let's see what happens. So we have our full potatoes. We're using russet potatoes. And what we're gonna wanna do is just cut off the top and the bottom and then skin it. So you don't have to skin your potato if you don't want to, if you don't mind the skin, but definitely make sure you extra wash it in that case. So you're gonna cut it off like this, like so, all the skin. I cut off the top and the bottom. And then I'm just gonna throw this away. Then I'm going to cut it into planks. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Have you done this before?
Of course.
I'm gonna cut it into planks so the planks are like similar size here.
Alright.
So I have some planks looking like this, people.
Yeah.
So I have several of them. I probably got like 5 from this one potato. And then from these planks, I'm gonna cut my fry shape. So you can go as thin or as thick as you want. I'm going for like thick-ish fries, like this about a 1/4 of an inch.
It's like Harlem Tavern thick.
Harlem, please do not compare our food to Harlem Tavern.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
Oh, you want thinner fries?
Yeah, I like them thin.
Okay, so in that case, you're gonna actually start with your planks even thinner, and then when you get to this point, cut them even thinner, like so.
Okay.
So does this please you here?
Yeah, that's cool.
This is what we're going for here. But you can cut your fries however you want. However you cut them, just make sure you're cutting them the same size because you want them to cook at a general same rate. All right, so I have finished the first potato, and while I get the other water, I'm gonna pass the mic to you here with the knife, and we have 3 more potatoes to go. So let's get choppy on it. So again, guys, we are aiming for McDonald's size fries here. I had originally cut them about this thick. Gil was not a fan of that, so I kind of cut it in half. And the way that your fry shape is going to be is depending on how thick you make your planks and then how thin you make your strips. Hello, Koi Mark and Chef Ross Ruiz and Chef Danielle Turner. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. And Renee. Oh, Renee's here.
Renee!
So we're
here too.
Brooklyn's in the house.
We're cutting our fries, and then we're also going to want to soak them in some water until we get ready to start cooking them. So I'm just filling a bowl with some cold water. hopefully if you are cooking along, you also have a friend helping you because we have a double time.
Too thick, right?
That's very thick, yeah, especially considering you wanted this size here.
All right.
So how you can remedy that is very carefully cut it thinner, and then from there cut your strips. And then once you have your strips ready, you're gonna just put them in this water. And the reason why we're putting it in this water is actually because we want to soak out some of that starch, which is actually going to help make our fries way crispier than if we just went straight to the oil with these. The best way to do this is overnight if you want super, super crispy fries. But today we're making a meal and start to finish in an hour. Cross our fingers, an hour. I don't know, Gil's kind of cutting slow right now. So, no rush. I want you to keep all your fingers here.
It's Sunday.
But yeah, if you were doing this in advance, you could soak these for overnight and they would be even better. Is that cutting board okay for you? Do you want to move it closer to you?
No, I'm cool.
Okay. All right, so let me show you guys some of Gil's that he's doing. He's aiming best here.
Aiming best.
Aiming best for his best try. These are a little thin. These are really good, Gil, you know?
Really?
All right.
Someone said ideal fry shape needs to be a question on dating apps.
I do. Oh, that is a good point.
Mark Aaron Bright.
Yep.
Because if you like really thick fries, but your partner likes thin fries, like what are you supposed to do?
Because some people like it thick. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they go with. Yeah.
Actually, Mark Aaron Bright is the man behind the designer behind the My Beautiful Chef coat. If you've seen it with the pearls on it.
Okay.
Skiwi.
Oh yeah. That's right.
All right. Okay, so Gil's already done with one potato. If you guys are cooking along, I hope you're keeping up with Gil.
Yes.
Keeping up with the Kardashian.
Just cut off these dusty sides.
Ooh, I made a joke and Chris laughed. 1 point for me. So yeah, we are using russet potatoes tonight. Russet potatoes are actually the best potato you're gonna find generally find in your store that have the least amount of moisture that are gonna create the best fries. Whenever you're making fries, you want to stay away from those waxy potatoes, so like red potatoes or those like gold potatoes on the outside, because they're waxy on the outside, but they also contain a lot of moisture on the inside. So wait, did you say you've done this before?
Maybe.
All right, so I will say Gil is doing good on his cutting shape. He is wasting quite a bit of the potato on the edge of it here.
Okay. All right.
So
yes.
Next time, aim. Just take your time. I'm not rushing you.
Okay.
Not rushing you at all. Tick.
No, we good.
So when you guys are peeling your potato, just be really careful or cognizant to try to just shave down the very edge of the side. Oh, he's getting fast over here. Look at these guys. He's doing great. Look at these.
Is he holding the knife right?
He is, sort of.
I'm getting it.
All right, and I will hand you your last potato over here.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least. Also, if you're cooking along tonight and you do not have your steak out of the refrigerator, you actually want to go ahead and take that out now. Whenever you cook steak, remember, slowly peel the edge so you're not wasting quite as much. So stand it up, actually. Stand it up on. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. And you don't have to shake. You shouldn't have to saw it. You should be able to like slide it down. I know my knife is a little dull, just slightly.
Just slightly, okay.
But back to your steak. If you're cooking along tonight, you want to make sure your steak is out of the fridge. There's like a few, maybe like 5 keys to cooking really good steak. One of them is having it at room temperature when you're about to cook it, because anytime you take something super cold, this kind of goes for all proteins. Anytime you take something super cold out of the fridge and just put it into a super hot pan, you're like surprising it.
Okay.
So it's gonna like just seize up. Like if you put yourself, well, you're like opposite. You like cold better than hot.
Yeah, I like cold.
But like normally if you put someone in the cold, they would like freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you're like steak, because if you're cold and we put you in the hot, you would like seize up and get really angry.
For sure.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention, if you guys have any questions, culinary or otherwise, for Gil. Gil is a educator, a coach, very knowledgeable about the Knicks, the Jets, any losing team, basically. You could ask him about.
But hope is all we have in this world.
He's a man of faith.
So I'm a 2020 fan, basically. You know, as far as sports goes. So yeah, there you go.
So yeah, feel free to drop those in the box below. Any comments, questions, anything. We have Gil's amazing, beautiful wife, Stephanie, who I normally just call my best friend, but since Gil is on camera, we'll let him claim Stephanie tonight.
Yeah, that's my boo.
Stephanie is controlling the ones and twos, so she will relay all the questions and comments to us. Gil, you're doing a really good job. You're pretty fast. And look, this time, you guys, he didn't waste nearly as much of the potato. Not nearly as much. Hello, my sweet Mia. It's like very difficult. I'm like not. I told you guys I was gonna put Gil in charge today, so I can actually like interact and wave. Hey, Miss Shirley.
It's starting to get warm. Yeah, I feel it. It's getting warm.
Oh yeah, Gil's already feeling the heat. It's too hot in the kitchen for him.
Yeah, just a little temperature.
All right, don't worry, Gil. It's only gonna get hotter because the oven is not even on yet.
No.
All right, so if you're just joining us or if you're cooking along, let me reiterate what we're doing right now. We cut our potatoes into planks, then into strips, onto our french fry shape. It's really not as hard as you think it might be. Gil did it in like, we're only 10 minutes in and we're already done with 4 potatoes.
Okay.
Technically, you're supposed to have 2 potatoes per person, but I feel like that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I like to take from like, you know, some like Steph's plate, you know.
This is all the potatoes we got from 4 potatoes. But remember, Gil wasted quite a bit of the
Yeah, and that's a whole bowl. I mean, that's like a pound, right?
This is a little more than a pound.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
pretty hefty. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're done with the potatoes. We're gonna let them sit. I'm actually gonna fill this up so most of them are covered in water.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember why we're covering them with water?
Yes, because it cooks better when you soak them.
Yes, it draws out the starch.
All right. Mm-hmm. Those are the starch.
All right, awesome. Now let's talk about our steak. So we have on the recipe ingredient list, I told you guys to get ribeye. That's my favorite kind of steak. But Gil likes New York strip. I think he's biased to New York or something. Wait, did he? Oh, this is my ribeye. So, can you tell? Oh, I just told you which one. I was like, can you tell me which one's the ribeye?
Well, I mean, I guess because it's like, it's more like shaped this way, and this one is like that way. I don't know.
Very technical explanation. So, a ribeye is going to have a lot more fat marbling. So, if you want to pick up that other one, the New York strip. A lot more fat marbling like all throughout the steak there. And then the New York strip, can you hold it like this? Thank you. The New York strip is just going to have that fat on the side. Is there a reason why you like New York strip?
I think it's just like, it's just got a good flavor to it. I mean, that's good too. I could tear that down too, but I just like the strip steak. So
the difference is that this has more fat, so it does have more flavor. It's a fattier cut, so it's not quite as good for you. It has more saturated fat.
Okay.
I actually really like ribeyes, especially on the grill, because like all that fat kind of drips off.
Mm-hmm.
But I like steak in general.
I like New York strip steak. It's good.
New York strip steak I think is a little easier to cook because it's a little firmer, so it's a little bit easier to tell if it's done or not with or without a thermometer.
Yeah.
Do we have a question?
No, it's too bad there's no LA strip steaks. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
No LA strip steak. Good one. All right. So I have a blog post that I wrote a long time ago about cooking steak, and these rules still ring true. I probably taught at least 10 friends how to cook steak, and they're like, whoa, I never knew that this was that easy. And it really is that easy. The top 3 things that you're going to want to remember when you are cooking steak is 1, to get good quality steak. If you want to make good steak, do not buy like that little thin steak from like your regular grocery store. Go to a high quality grocer. Grass fed is great. But at least an inch thick. Because if you don't have an inch thick, you're not going to be able to have any kind of control over what temperature your steak is. So if you like well done steak.
Also, do you look for the marbling too?
Yes and no. Like sometimes, like if I'm really doing like a really important party or if it's a very special occasion, I'll look at the marbling. But like generally, if you're going to a high quality grocer, it's going to be decent.
Yeah.
So high quality steak, spend your money on your steak. It's going to be a lot less even like if you went out to eat. Just get a good steak. Second thing is no moisture. So we're going to want to pat these dry. Yep. Pat these dry so there's no moisture involved on the top. And then third thing is super, super high heat. So actually, as I'm patting this and finishing talking, I'm going to start turning on on my pan, so it can already start getting hot. I always say that when you're making really good steak, if your smoke alarm goes off, then you're making it right. So don't be afraid, like literally your smoke alarm should go off. Because what makes the steak good is you're gonna put a good layer of salt. I guess this is the fourth thing. I lied. One more thing. Salt is super important. It's the only thing we're gonna season with. Is that like sacrilegious to you?
No, I mean I love pepper and a little olive oil. That's me. That's me though. That's how I do it.
Okay. So pepper is great. I would always suggest adding pepper after you have seared it, because since we're using such a high temperature in the pan, the pepper can burn. It's a very subtle flavor, but you know.
Does it like go into the meat, like sear into it with the?
No, it kind of just burns.
All right.
If you're doing it this method, if you're doing it on the grill, it kind of adds to like the smokiness.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it this method, I only recommend adding just a very, very heavy layer of salt. So I've already patted them dry. If you want to add the salt to them.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a question.
A question from
Go ahead,
Amina Mebane. Do you heat the pan with nothing in it?
Yes, I'm heating the pan with nothing in it. Generally, that's definitely not enough salt. I generally heat the pan with nothing in it because it's a little bit safer, one. So like if I were distracted and walked away, it would be less likely to cause any kind of harm to me if there's nothing in the pan. Two, it also doesn't cause any harm to my pan if it's heating up with no oil, like none of those like weird random marks around it. Also, yeah, that's the main thing. You have another question? Oh, another question.
Is it kosher salt?
Yes, I'm using kosher salt. I always use kosher salt, especially for steak. Wait, let me wipe this one off. Gil, we're gonna need a lot more salt than what you just put.
Generous.
Yes, so this is like super important. Let me show you how much, wait, don't rub it in yet. I'm gonna show you guys how much salt Gil put on his steak. And remember, I'm using kosher salt here, and I'll explain why that's important in a second. Ooh, the light is not so great for Instagram. There you go. So you can see how much salt he put on, and then I'm gonna show you how much salt I would put on. It's literally like a crust of salt. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, that's so salty. Like you're gonna die of high blood pressure. No, you're not. I've been making steak like this for a very long time. There's no other flavor inside this steak besides this salted crust. And if you cut your steak thin enough, it's gonna just be a really nice crust of salt, especially as it hits that meat or hits that hot pan. So definitely salt is very, yep, do the other side too. I typically don't rub it in like that, but I think it's making Gil feel good. So I'm gonna go with Gil's method today.
All right.
But generally I just put a very, very thick coat of kosher salt. Never iodized salt, because iodized salt just makes your steak super salty, not flavorful. Question?
Yes, there's a question from K. Marie Kitchen. How long do you soak the potatoes in water?
So the longer the better. If you can, overnight, at least an hour. Or like this is real life, so like if you're trying to eat, as long as you can. So as long as it takes you to like do this other stuff, that's how long we're gonna soak them today. So it'll probably be like 20-30 minutes or so. Alright, so let me turn on my light back here. My pan is hot, I can feel it, like it's a little hot on my, I'm not touching it, but I can tell it's hot. Let's talk about oil choice here. So typically we're used to just using like regular olive oil blend for a lot of things. Totally works fine, I've used it before, nothing's gonna go wrong. But if you really want to ensure that super crispy skin on your steak, canola oil or vegetable oil is the way to go because it's a much higher heat oil. So your pan and your steak is going to be super, super hot. But if you have the olive oil blend, fine. I've done it before. You're not going to ruin anything. The only oil I would not recommend is like an extra virgin olive oil, like the green, super green one.
It burns too fast, right?
Yep. So my pan is smoking. I'm adding, I could say about 2 tablespoons of oil to that. Not none, like a tablespoon of oil. And my oil is, you can see, my pan is, I don't know if you can see. Can you? Oh yeah, you can see the smoke coming up. I don't know if you can see on screen. So now I'm ready to put my steak in. Typically I do this with my hands, but I'm going to use tongs. Let's do the New York strip first. This one, yes.
Yeah, you want to take care of that, or you got it?
You got it. Go ahead. Lay it in
my
there.
steak representing my steak. All right.
Representing your steak with your steak. So just lay it in.
Whoa!
That's a lot of oil, man.
The oil is what's going to make the skin very crispy. Oh, Also, we want to turn our oven on to 400. And then we put our steak in, and now we don't want to touch it. Like, we're just gonna stand here and chat.
Yeah, we're just gonna chill. Hey, how you doing?
Hang out.
What's up?
Because we don't want to touch our steak. Once we start moving our steak around, we're creating moisture. We're creating, what else is another word for moisture?
Yeah,
Steam.
steam.
And those things are gonna prohibit that crust of the steak from forming. So we're just gonna chill, not be like just chill, not be overly concerned. If I was not just talking to you guys at this point, I would like do something else when it's coming to dinner. Since I'm talking to you guys and I don't want to go too fast, we're just gonna stand here and wait for our steak to cook. One thing we can do is get our pan ready, because what we're gonna do with the steak is we're gonna sear it on the stove and we're gonna put it in the oven to finish. So let's get that sheet pan, I got it, with some aluminum foil. I only put aluminum foil just to make my cleanup job easier later. Not really any other reason, I just don't like to scrub pans. Question.
What's the burner level? Medium, high?
My burner level is super high, which, if you have a normal stove in a normal house, your high is probably way higher than mine. But yeah, the most important thing is don't touch it for at least a minute and a half.
Yeah. So you want to do how long? Like, you want
Does that change for electric or gas?
Yes. Electric stoves are a little tricky. I can't really tell you because they're all a bit different. But electric stoves tend to burn things a lot faster than gas because you just don't have control over it.
So like, what do you think? 5 minutes each side?
No, like 2 or 3 minutes on each side. And when we're gonna look, I think it's been like a minute and a half or so.
It's been like a minute, right?
I don't know. I feel like I have an internal timer.
All right, let me check.
Yeah, but don't lift it all the way up. Just pick up. Oh yeah, perfect. So we're gonna leave it another 30 seconds.
Yeah, give it a little more love. Give it a little more.
Because you want it to get all the way seared on the bottom. The other thing is the kind of pan you're using is important. A thicker bottom pan is gonna work a lot better.
Kathleen, if you may.
Chefleen.
Okay, sorry, Chefleen. Would you add, like, just to sauce it up a little bit, like rosemary and garlic knots? So like, would you do that?
So that's a good question. And yes,
Is that
if
just
you're
for aroma, or
if
is
you're
that-
an advanced chef,
Ooh,
maybe. But I typically, if you're just learning how to cook steak and you're just trying to master steak, I would just do this method. Keep it very, very simple. Just salt, so you're not burnt. Because the oil is super hot. If you put rosemary in here right now, you're just gonna burn it. It's gonna add some sort of flavor, but it could also just end up burnt. Yeah, perfect. Turn it.
What type
Alright,
of...
camera see that?
Let's bring them over.
Now we gotta get all sides, right? We gotta get most, like, you gotta make sure we get the top, the bottom.
So that's what our steak looks like. No, we're only gonna get the top and the bottom. We're not gonna turn it on its side.
Side? No, okay.
Nope.
I just thought.
All sides don't matter, Bill.
All sides do not matter when it comes to steak.
What about the pan?
Oh.
Question
Oh, we need a strong pan.
around
We need
cast
something-
iron?
So I.
No, we don't need it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, you just need a pan that can, like, really sear. Not exactly, like, you don't need cast iron.
It doesn't have to be cast iron. In fact, I'm using my cast iron tonight to fry in because I prefer that to fry in rather than cook my steak. Also, my cast iron is pretty new, so I just feel like it doesn't give me the sear that I exactly want. Whereas I know this pan, I've had it for a while, and it's always, I hope it sears my next steak as good as it just did this one. It generally sears my steak decently well.
And my problem with the cast iron in an apartment, it's like it smokes the whole shit to be damned. Like, where it's like you can't even breathe, it's smoking out everything.
I mean, this
It's
will
so hot.
suit too. The other cool thing about cast iron is you can put it directly from your stove into your oven. But to Gil's point, because you have that oil in there, it's just gonna smoke everything a lot more and make your oven a lot more dirty. Because all that oil will be splattering around in your oven. Speaking of which, your oven should be at 400 if you're cooking along. All right, so let's take out this steak and put it on our sheet tray that we prepared.
How are we cooking it today?
You said what?
Is it
And then we're gonna
Drop yellow?
medium well?
We're gonna wait for like 30 seconds because we just were cooking a steak in that pan, so it's like a little cooler than it would be if we were just waiting it. So we want to bring it up to the super high temperature that we had before. Here's our steak. Here's our steak that we have seared perfectly. This is our New York strip. And today we are going for a medium, I would say. Even a medium rare is what my preferred way. You can go ahead and drop that one in there now.
Yeah, it's a nice, like, thicker piece of meat than
Yep.
a strip steak. I just like strip steak, simple.
Medium, we're going for medium, medium temperature here. The best way to tell if your steak is medium is literally to invest in some sort of thermometer. Medium is going to be 145, medium rare is going to be 135. Rare is 125, anything above 150 you probably should not eat. Like, it's just your body, why even bother eating super tough meat?
No.
In my opinion, my humble opinion.
I mean, I guess if you cook it out like that and you want to, like, marinate it with something to soften it, while you, I don't know.
Yeah, marinating steaks are great, but I would not marinate a ribeye.
Like, well done. I know,
Yeah.
not the fine meat, but, like, if it's, like, a cheap piece of meat.
Yeah, like a skirt steak.
Yeah.
Skirt steak you can like cook well done and then like chop it very finely, or like the chopped cheese steak.
I got family in Colombia. What they do is they get the cheapest steak, they chop that ish up, and then what they do is they marinate it in beer overnight, and it's lit. The next day, fuego.
Beer is a great marinade for beef, especially because it breaks down the meat and it makes it a little bit more tender. Question?
There's a question from Amina. How long do you keep meat on the stovetop if you want it well done?
You can't have your meat well done, Amina, while you're cooking with me. I'm kidding. So if you want it well done, you're still going to sear it the same amount of time until it looks like mine on each side, basically. So 2 to 3 minutes on that super high heat. And then how you're going to get it well done is you're just going to put it in the oven for a very long time. So we're going to put ours in for like 10, 12 minutes. You might go all the way up to 20.
Go for 40.
No, not 40. I don't want you to have a hockey puck. Like, it's still going to be a good kind of steak. All right, do you want to check that one?
Yeah, this might take a little longer because it's thicker, right?
No, it shouldn't take longer to sear, but it might take longer to cook. I would leave that a little bit more.
Yeah, that part.
There are still some like gray areas on the meat. When we just picked it up, you couldn't really see from that far away. And you really want that even, nice. I'll show you again how we got this really nice, even sear on this steak here. This is what you're looking for.
Yeah, sometimes it's uneven. You gotta make sure you
Because not only is this like a nice, it's like actually crispy on the outside, but when you look at this, it just looks like you want to eat it rather than if you're looking at like a gray, sad little piece of steak.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking for New York strip steak and don't see the name New York strip steak, they might be hating on the state of New York, and sometimes it's called shell steak, if you have seen it. But again, I would never recommend buying a steak that is less than an inch thick if you're trying to make a really good like steakhouse sort of situation kind of meal. Alright, so Gil is gonna, you can flip that now. Gil is flipping our last steak. While he is flipping that last steak, I'm gonna talk about our broccolini. We had to have a little vegetable side here, so we have our broccolini. It is it's like fancy broccoli, basically.
Tastier.
Tastes like, I guess.
Yes, I think so. What's up?
Question?
Yeah, there's a question from the audience for Gil. When's the last time you took steak for Steph?
Steak for Steph. That was probably, we did an Argentina night, and we took out the steak. I think it was a New York strip steak. We made some chimichurri, which is like a nice herbal, touch to it, and
It's like our herb salsa.
yeah, it was an herb salsa, but like South American salsa. So it was really good. I recommend you try it. Okay, don't be afraid. All right.
Did you have to consult with Kat?
Did I have what?
No, he didn't. Gil is a good cook.
Yeah, I can cook, man. Your ass can't cook. Stay there. Okay.
No,
Stand by. Stand back.
Chris can actually make steak now. He can make a really good steak.
He can't make. Come on.
He can, I promise.
He can make a mean hot dog.
I'm not a liar about food.
He can boil anything.
I always say everything is okay, so if I say something that someone makes is good, like, it has to be true.
Maybe a chicken finger, he can put in the oven.
Okay, we're moving on to our broccolini.
My steak will be better than yours. That little bit of salt.
Okay, so broccolini we have here. This broccolini has a little bit thicker of a stem. So you can just leave it as it is, or you can take a vegetable peeler, excuse me, which I did not take out. You can take a vegetable peeler and just kind of peel off some of the stem to make it a little bit more delicate and a little bit less woodsy. Whatever you do, peel the stem or not, you're going to want to also chop off this little edge. like just about 1/4 of an inch off the bottom because it tends to be really woodsy. So if you want to chop off the bottoms of
let
those.
me put this on the side real quick. Is this good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, and then we're gonna take that off the heat.
Hell yeah, broccolini.
Let me do that.
Oh shoot, this pan got it. So Gil is just chopping off the bottom of the broccolini.
And that goes for like every like thick kind of veggie.
Basically,
chop
like
off the bottom.
asparagus.
Yeah.
Even if you're just cooking whole broccoli, you're gonna want to take off the very edge.
So they just been through too many things, right?
Yeah.
Growing up.
Cancel.
What else? What else
Yeah.
is something that you would do that to?
You can do that too, like bok choy, right? No. Yeah, bok choy, but that's like different.
Bok choy, yeah, you take off the whole stem.
Chinese broccoli, all that.
All right, so
From the
while Gil is doing that, I am going to start heating up my oil. I'll tell you guys a little more in depth in a
And
second.
this should be dry too, right? You don't rinse it. You just keep it this way.
So you can rinse it, but we're gonna blanch it, which will also take away some of the.
And we trust Whole Foods, right? So.
I mean, we're gonna rinse. We should rinse it.
All right.
But also, we're putting it in hot boiling water, which will kill any
Okay.
pesticides or things that are on there anyway.
Okay.
So, sorry guys, we started doing a lot of things at one time. We have taken our steak out of the searing process. If you touch your steak now, it's gonna feel very bouncy, like a trampoline. Definitely not cooked.
Deep.
So we're gonna put it into the oven for generally, I never set a timer. I kind of have an internal timer at this point because I've made steak so much. But I would say at 10 minutes or so, I check it to see how it feels. And when we get there, I will explain what we're looking for. But again, if you are ahead of me and cooking along, if you have a thermometer and you want medium rare, 135, well done. Just leave it in there till the show's over. Medium, 145. Just in the oven now.
But it just tastes better when it's like at least medium rare. You know?
Yes.
Or no, medium well.
Medium well is
borderline.
I
okay.
like medium well.
Medium plus. Medium rare. I like medium rare
Medium.
burgers.
I like medium rare.
Yeah.
I don't need it mooing, but I do like some nice juiciness. All right, so also while Gil was cutting off the stems of these, I guess he doesn't want to
Did you
make
do
them
that? I
more
forgot.
delicate. You did.
Okay. Oh. Okay. I did that.
We are going to, I started some water boiling because we're going to blanch our broccolini before we toss it with garlic and butter. And I also started our oil heating to start frying our french fries.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to get through frying all of our french fries within this hour, but I will walk you through all the steps.
The after show.
So you can show, yeah, after party.
Yeah.
But for our broccolini, once our water starts boiling, we're gonna add in some salt, a good amount of salt again, about a tablespoon. Actually, you don't even have to wait for your water to boil. Whenever you blanch, you definitely want to add a good amount of salt. That was basically all my salt that I had.
Yeah. We gotta go back to the store.
How much water should you use for blanching?
Great question. So generally, when you see people blanching things, they're using like a big pot, which is fine if you're blanching a lot of things. Not a bad choice. But because I'm just trying to minimize the amount of dishes that I'm using, I just have like the same pan that I'm gonna saute my broccolini in, filled up like pretty much to the top with water, just enough so like when I press my broccolini in, they're not gonna like the water's not gonna spill over. And then I'll just kind of toss it in that water for a little while longer. I'll have to work a little harder because it's not gonna be all the way submerged, but then I don't have to clean another pan when I'm done cooking. And while we're waiting for the water to boil, I'm gonna ask you to slice up this garlic. It's
Okay.
actually gonna be one of the last things that we need,
I'm
but
gonna smash them first. Okay.
if you guys have any questions, please let us know. So far, our steaks are in the oven. I started heating up my canola oil for our french fries because that takes a little bit of time to heat up to the proper temperature that we want it. And we are about to blanch our broccolini in some salted water. Actually, my water just started boiling, so I'm gonna place our broccolini. This is 2 bunches of broccolini into the water. This broccolini, did you rinse this? There's still dirt on it.
No, I didn't. I forgot.
Oh. So I'm just rinsing off my broccolini.
Now, a rough chop or just like you know, thin
So
as
the what I was gonna say. The smaller you chop it, the more intense garlic flavor will be
Okay.
in our broccoli.
like in The Godfather, they used the razor blade and just sliced it down real nice and slick.
Yeah, so if you use slices,
Oh
it's
no, Goodfellas.
the
Sorry.
way Gil is chopping it right now. We're gonna get very intense garlic flavor when we go to saute our broccolini later. But if you were to just slice it, you'd have a little less. You just have like a slight garlic flavor.
How much oil for the fries?
For the fries, I use the entire 32 ounces of oil. And the good thing about this is frying fries, you can always reuse the oil. So basically, once you're done with the oil, you would let it cool down, drain it out under a strainer and some paper towel, and then just put it back in this bottle. And you could use the same fry oil for like 3 different times. Chicken, I recommend like 1 time. I know someone's grandma or mom's gonna be like, no, you can keep using it forever. No. 2 times for chicken for me.
Yeah.
3 times for fries, and generally 1 time for fish. But generally, I don't deep fry fish like this. I do more of a shallow fry.
Okay.
All right. So if you could just move over so I could show. So you guys can. Well, you guys can't see, but let me bring this over. My broccolini is not fully submersed into here, so I'm just gonna kind of toss it around so it gets like, more blanched all the way around.
Use the tongue?
Yep. Not using my hands here. Not trying to die.
No.
And
No,
this-
you don't want that.
This process should only take about 2 minutes or so. You're basically getting your broccolini to the point where you would want to eat it. So if you do like more tender broccolini or like more mushy broccolini, you're gonna want to cook it a little bit longer in this process. But I'm gonna just do mine for about 2 minutes.
You don't want to let Gil do it?
I just needed to move it around. We're gonna grab, so Gil, your next task. One, we're gonna move this garlic off our cutting board because we don't need it until the very end. Also, what time do we put the steak in? Like 7:32-ish, according to this clock.
Yeah.
So garlic's over there. We're gonna start prepping our fries for the oil. And what we're gonna do is actually dry them off.
So bring it out. Should I pour it out? Take a little bit.
Yeah, pour some of it out. And actually, I can show you guys, maybe, depending on my camera. You can actually see some of that starchiness at the bottom has come off of the potatoes. Like the white stuff at the bottom is starch. And before we put our fries in the oil, now some people just throw their wet fries in the oil. That frightens me. Frying actually is one of the scariest things I think you can do in the kitchen, deep frying. So I like to actually take some paper towel and just kind of gently pat them off, because if you put, what happens if you put wet things into hot oil?
Yeah, it starts to pop.
Yes, you could lose an eye.
Yeah.
So we don't want that to happen. So you want to try to dry them off as much as possible.
Yeah, we need y'all to vote. So.
And vote, yes. Dry your fries and vote. Friendly message. Yeah, so you can start doing, also this is probably about the amount of fries we're going to be able to put a little bit more.
Put a little more, right?
Yeah.
A little low.
So you can keep
Let
drying.
me do my little layer.
Our broccolini is done blanching, so I'm just going to pour out that water and run it under some cold water so it can stop the cooking process. And I'll bring this over to show you while Gil is drying our fries
Dry.
and thinking about voting.
Yeah.
Anyone voting early
Anyone voting early? We're trying.
or voted already?
No, didn't vote yet.
Alright, and then I'm carefully moving my hot oil to my better burner. So let me talk to you guys about how we're going to cook these fries. It's a little bit unusual. Generally, people are used to just throwing their fries into the oil, cooking them for like 5 to 7 minutes and calling it a day. The best way to actually cook fries is to double cook them. So just like we just blanched our broccolini, we're going to blanch our fries. So we're going to cook them at 300 degrees for like 5 minutes, just until they're cooked.
Yeah.
They won't be brown. They won't look cooked. But if you were to bite one, it would be soft. And then we're going to raise up the oil temperature and cook them again at 400, like 380, 400. And that will make them extra crispy.
All right.
So I'm going to check the oil temperature now.
Yes.
What the heck is happening? We are at, we're not even at, see, I told you guys the oil takes quite a bit of time to raise up. And generally I tell you guys, you don't really need special equipment. I don't really have to get special equipment to cook with me. But really when you're frying fries, a thermometer, that's why it was actually on the list, is really important. Because you can guess and check, but it's just not, it's not going to be the same if you have no
And
experience.
thermometers you can get anywhere, right? It's just, you know.
Yeah, for sure. You can get a thermometer for like $12. The one I have is actually like $100.
Oh.
But it's a quick read digital thermometer. I would highly, if you cook a lot or fry a lot, definitely worth the investment.
Well, I went to like Home Depot and I got like a.
It works
$5
though, right?
Thermometer. Yeah. Stick it in and jab that thing into anything.
Okay. We're using canola oil, TT.
Canola. Okay, sorry. I saw TT's comment.
TT, do you miss steak night? You miss steak Fridays?
Oh, TT can't come home. More food for us.
She didn't. Steph took her job today,
Oh,
so
my bad.
she stayed
And
home.
TT a vacation.
TT's on vacation.
Yeah, it should be alright. Alright.
All right. So actually, our oil was only at 210. I'm gonna check our steak
I think steak's done.
because I hear it just making a lot of noise, and I know the bottom of my oven does weird things sometimes. So I just want to check this really quick. When we temp our steak, do you know how to temp your steak?
Yeah, just jab it in, right?
How?
To
Where?
the meatiest part, the thickest part, right?
But on the top or the
I do it on the top and then jam it on the
So, in the side.
Side.
yeah, that was your answer all along, right? All right, so I'm gonna put this in my ribeye. My ribeye's at 135, perfect.
Perfect.
And then this New York strip is at 134. That's pretty good too. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So careful, Ty. You good?
Yeah,
You might
yeah,
want to
yeah.
run your hand under some cold water really quick.
No, actually, it wasn't that hot.
Okay. So I'm going to turn off my oven because our steak is done, temperature we want. Another really important thing that you want to do with your steak is let it rest. So we're just going to set it to the side and not think about it for a
We
second.
got some questions, I think.
We have a
Question.
couple
People
fry
wanna talk.
questions.
While we let this
So-
thing fry up.
Yeah, we have a few fry questions.
All right.
Well, first of all, TT says she's on her way, limping and all.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think she does miss Steak Fridays.
No, TT, stay at home, please.
More steak for you.
And TT also asks, does this recipe change for sweet potato fries?
Yes. I've never actually double fried sweet potato fries, but I feel like the method would be the same because the whole point of double frying is to draw out moisture the first time. Anytime you fry a fry, when you finish frying it, there's moisture that's still leaking out. So then if you let it cool and then fry it again at a higher temperature, you should remove more of the moisture than otherwise. But I've never actually tried that with sweet potato fries. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Are Frites or Frites a fancy way of saying fries, and how is it pronounced?
It's Frites.
It's
yes.
Frites,
It's
yeah, steak
French.
frites.
It's French.
But actually, Belgium takes credit for creating it.
Well, you know, that might be true. I don't know. But yeah, I had some in France. Me and Steph, my boo, and it was really good. We went to this spot called Paulette, and the steak frites were out of bounds. So they are fries.
Yeah, they're fries.
They're fries, yeah.
So our oil's at 300, so I'm gonna start putting some of our fries in. Like I told you guys, I'm such a baby when it comes to frying things. I like to be extra careful. I don't put in a ton of fries
Yeah.
at the same time. And I generally just drop them in with my hands. I just find it, and the thing is you don't want to overcrowd your pan. So you saw how many fries are here. I only put about,
Put one more.
oh, Gil wants to put one more. I only put a little bit of those fries in. And then also, as soon as I put the fries in, look at this.
Woo!
It's just enough oil. Because you also don't want to displace the oil. As soon as I put the fries in, I'm going to kind of move them around so they don't stick together. And again, remember, this is just our first fry. So we want to keep the oil pretty consistent at 300. So just check your oil to make sure it's at 300 throughout the whole time that you're cooking it the first round.
Oh yeah, here a party going on outside.
We have a few more fry
Which one?
questions. There's some good questions coming in from
Okay.
the audience.
Wait,
So,
just keep an eye on those so it doesn't
Oh,
overwhelm.
for sure. That's what the
Go ahead,
people
Seth.
say, right?
so one,
Wait, you don't have to keep moving them. though.
you probably mentioned this already, but what kind of potatoes are you using, and what are types of potatoes that you recommend for good fries?
So we are using russet potatoes. Those are the best kind of potatoes to use that are the most available and widely available in stores because they have the least amount of moisture. Red potatoes or any kind of waxy potato are not great for this because they do have a lot of moisture, so they're not going to get as crispy. In-N-Out, a lot of controversy around In-N-Out fries. They actually use the best potatoes. They're called Kennebec, but they kind of buy them all out and they're not so widely available in stores.
Where are they from?
But They're from California? No, actually, I don't know.
Oh.
Let me not lie to
Idaho.
you guys. Idaho?
That's what they're.
All potatoes come from Idaho. I actually don't know where they're from, but because In-N-Out never freezes anything, and so they don't do this double frying process, which is why their fries are not great. Because, well, depending on who you ask, I don't think they're great. They're like smushy. I only like them animal style with cheese and all the onions and
No,
ketchup.
they taste good though. They're like kind of thick, but they're not too thick. You know what I mean?
They're a good size,
Slim-
but the texture is not great.
That slim thick.
Question?
Is it necessary to cover the steak when it's resting?
No, you don't have to cover your steak when it's resting. Some people do because they think it keeps it hotter, which in fact you're creating another oven, so your steak is going to actually go over. What I typically do, like when I'm catering or like making steak ahead in this sense, because you can prepare your steak up to this point, and then right before serving, I'll slice it and then just flash heat it in the oven for like not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes, and it'll just be warm, and people will eat it that way. All right, so our fries have actually raised up to the surface now. The oil is still at about 300. Actually, it's a little lower because anytime you put anything in oil, it's going to lower the temperature. And so I think this batch is good. So once your fries start raising up, that means they're starting to cook. So we're going to put them, well, Gil is going to put them onto this sheet lined with paper towel to catch some of that grease. And just be careful. Yeah, be careful that you're not dripping grease all over the stove. So yeah, just kind of hold them there. A better tool than tongs when you're frying fries is a spider, which looks like this. However, mine is made out of plastic, so if I was to put this in the oil, it would just melt. So that would not be a good idea. But if you could invest in one of these, it's really good for taking things out of oil, for sure. You'll be a lot less likely to drop or splatter things. All right, good job, Gil.
Thank you.
So we're not gonna see, and then you can just put some more fries in. Let me take these over.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, our fries look like nothing right now. They look like sad little white fingers. Why? Instagram is struggling over here with this light. I upgraded my light. Oh, there you guys go. So they look like sad little white fingers. But again, we're frying them twice because right now they're actually cooked. Like I could eat this and it tastes like kind of like just a mashed potato. But
that's like that's like a medium rare fry. You don't want that.
yeah, it's a medium rare fry.
Fries,
Not
fries.
great. So at this point, actually, if you wanted to, sorry, Instagram, you guys can't see. At this point, actually, if you wanted to freeze them, you totally could, and then you could just take them out and fry them later, and they'd be super, super crispy. But we're gonna actually finish frying them tonight. We're only gonna do this one batch, so I can just show you guys the finished situation. So I am going to, maybe not use my hands to do that because they're still pretty hot. I'm gonna move these over to the other paper towel, just so we have space to put our fresh fries that come out of the oil onto here again. But yeah, you can see they're like, careful, it's hot, but they're cooked.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
you have to
soft.
do too. Yeah.
But they're not crispy. They're not delicious.
You gotta double dip.
If it is your first time frying, I recommend putting all your attention on your frying because it is kind of dangerous. It does take a little bit of finesse to make sure the oil is the right temperature. Your oil is not bubbling over. So yeah, make sure you're just focusing on your frying if you're frying.
In-N-Out fries are actually fried twice, and they're sunflower oil. That's why you taste them.
Big facts.
Oh, but they're not frozen. So if
No,
you,
they're not
at this
frozen.
point, if you were to freeze these and then fry them, they would taste even better than if you fry them twice.
Yes, they're not frozen.
Yes.
They're fresh potatoes in there.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Fried and
Fried.
Thank you, Encyclopedia
Thank you,
Koi.
French fries.
Listen, everybody needs the corrections, just like we have one for the debates. So I'm the correction.
Fact
Oh,
checker.
we have a fact checker,
I'm a
fact
fact
checker
checker.
Koi over here. All right, so because it's not my first time frying, and Gil is pretty much a kitchen expert, we are also going to saute our broccolini at the same time. So let me move this steak, which is resting, and let me take my broccolini. I'm actually going to take my broccolini out of the pan. Let me not put it there. So my pan is empty. It has a little bit of water. I'm just going to evaporate that water by turning my pan on.
Just topping in your steak.
Oh no, you don't have to do that.
Okay. Save that for rainy day.
Yep. And then I'm going to melt butter in my pan once the water evaporates from my broccolini. So you guys can see, like, cooking fries is actually not that hard, which is why, not that easy, which is why most people don't cook fries in their home, and you normally eat them out. But it's also not that hard.
No, it's easy. You just got to take your time, just with any kind of food, you know, that you fry. So just be careful. It's like a simple math equation. Just don't mess it up.
Is that what you tell the kids at school?
Yeah.
Just take your time.
Just be careful. Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
Yeah.
But technically, fries are a super calorie-laden thing because they're literally getting soaked in oil. So it is something that you should have to work hard to eat if you believe in that mindset, rather than just having easy, fat food in front of you all the time.
You put the fries back in yet?
No. So we are frying. We had 2 batches, so we're frying our second batch at 300.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna take these out, raise the oil, and then put it back at 400. And at the same time, we are starting to melt our butter. We'll evaporate some of the water and melt our butter back here. And then once our butter is starting to melt, we'll add in our garlic, and that'll be on a low heat because we don't want to burn our garlic.
Right. Because what happens when you burn the garlic?
It tastes gross.
Yeah.
Do you like burnt garlic?
No. I mean, not really. No.
Not really, no. It sounds like you've made burnt garlic before.
Yes.
I think everyone has burnt garlic before. It's like very easy
it's like
to do.
the first trial, you know, of the long journey.
It's very easy to do.
Of cooking.
But the way to avoid it is just to use a low heat and just kind of caramelize your garlic very slowly.
We have a question from the audience.
They want to know who cooks better, you or Steph?
You're looking at them right now. I'm just playing.
I don't know. Steph makes a really good baked ziti.
No.
Tortilla soup.
No, Steph's really good.
He has to say that right now.
No.
Steph is staring him down like.
No, that's not true.
Girl, don't be bashful or shy.
You've been really good since we've been in the pandemic.
Since the pandemic, I'm the best cook. I don't know if that's a good thing.
You probably did more than I do.
I can make some Kraft mac and cheese, and I'm the better cook. Whatever we got
From the box.
So Gil a couple weeks ago made some grilled chicken.
Yes.
That apparently was the best grilled chicken that several people had ever had.
I mean, that's Chef Gil to you. Thank you.
You know, I looked at it. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I could pass on this chicken.
The hate.
There's a lot of haters in 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, 2020 is a hater in itself of a year. All right, so our second batch is out of the blanching phase at the 300 temperature. So now we're gonna crank up the heat until like 380, 400, and then we're gonna put our first batch in that have been sitting here for a while back in.
You got it?
And it should take not that long. What happened to our butter?
Oh, let's do it.
Let's add in our butter, and then I'll let you do the garlic part.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of butter.
Did we? Oh no, I didn't put the fries.
Now the butter.
It's a lot of broccolini.
This is very gracious. But all right, should I drop it now or while it's like still halfway?
Oh, so be careful with that pan because that's a nonstick pan. So don't scrape it. Scrape it with those.
Yeah, I get the top.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie mistake.
Oh yeah.
Chef in training looks like.
No, that's something Mr.
Actually,
Coy.
this is a good tool for the non-stick skillet. Do you need to add more oil before the second fry? No, not necessarily. If you added the same amount I did at the beginning, which was like 32 ounces, I still have a good amount of oil in there. If you were trying to do a more shallow fry and you feel like the fries will not be submerged in the oil, yes. But I don't think you need to unless, I don't think you should have to. All right. So let's check the temperature of our oil now. It's like really bubbling now. I'm actually afraid of this. I told you guys, frying always scared me.
We can lower the temperature, right?
No, it needs to be high now.
Oh, higher? Okay.
Yeah, it has to be at 380.
All right, you gotta overcome your fears.
400.
Okay, this is it. This is the one.
What's it at now?
Yeah. You said what?
What is the temperature right now?
It's at 280, so it's pretty low.
Oh.
And then when we take our fries out this time, we're going to be ready with the salt because you definitely want to season your fries as soon as they come out of the oil. If you don't season them right out of the oil, they're not going to taste like anything. And you don't have to be limited to just seasoning with salt. You could use like Creole seasoning, Old Bay, garlic powder,
Crab seasoning.
crab seasoning. I said like 3 crab seasonings just now.
Lawry's.
Laurie's.
Or like maybe some tahini, you know, for all the
Tahini,
Mexicanos in the building.
Oh, the tahini, that chili powder?
Yeah.
You could.
So
I just like salt and pepper on my broccolini, fettuccine, and also I like to add a little butter, put some olive oil, you know, to get that.
What does the olive oil do that the butter?
And the olive oil has a fragrance and it just tastes good. I don't know if you ever olive oil anything, but you compare it to like.
No, I've never olive oiled anything.
But like I have. So I you know, if you just let's just say we dip it in like a tortilla or something, like it'll taste better with the olive oil fragrance, and it
Yes.
tastes
Olive oil. If you have,
better.
especially if you have a good quality olive oil,
Yeah.
it has like a nice like greenness.
Like
to it
Cola
almost.
Vida. you
Cola
know,
Vida.
Extra virgin.
Yeah. All right, we have 4 minutes to wrap this up under an hour
So you're
for
gonna
me
do
to
an
tell you
Are
guys.
you gonna have an after party?
We might have an after party of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
show.
we can go like another 5, 10, 20.
But all right. So if you're cooking along, please let me know if you're lost, because I don't want to leave you lost before the end of this. But so far we have our steak is done. Our broccolini, our butter and garlic is at a low temperature, just melding together in flavors. And like it's actually pretty much almost done to put our broccolini in. Basically, we're just gonna put our broccolini in, toss it with butter, season with salt and pepper. And then our oil, we're still waiting for our second fry of our oil, so we're waiting for that to get up to 380 to 400 so we can fry our fries so they're extra crispy.
About that. So, do the fries have to sit a certain amount of time before the second fry?
Not necessarily. Ideally, you would like them to be not hot anymore. And actually, extra ideally, if you could pop them in the freezer for like 40 minutes until they're like frozen, they'll get really, really super crispy. But again, not everything in life is ideal.
Right.
Sometimes you're rushing through things. Although fries is probably something you're not making if you're rushing. Like I wouldn't recommend making fries if you're in a rush. But sometimes you want to eat faster than waiting 40 minutes for your fries to freeze. But again, you can blanch. Like you can do 10 pounds of potatoes, blanch them all, freeze them all, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then just take them out and fry them when you want. And you can put them in the air fryer too. They'll be more crispy then too.
Yeah, air fry's cool. But we don't do
For
that.
the second fry,
We don't
not the
play that.
first.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Question?
Yeah, I don't have air fryer.
The weakish.
Question?
Can you make a dessert with leftover potatoes and broccolini?
I don't think you can do that.
You could. It would be nasty.
Who that?
Somebody said it.
Yeah, no, don't try to cheat.
I don't know. I think I would make like a potato mousse with a mint broccolini flourish. That's not even a culinary term.
You can't make potato sexy. You know what I'm saying? Just fry it. Just do what you do.
Gil, your garlic is
Oh.
That was central.
It's time to put the.
Yeah, it's starting to crisp up.
All right, our oil is at 3. It's at the good temperature that we want it to be. So I'm gonna add in these fries that we've already fried. What is happening? I think I got some oil in or water in my oil, which scares me.
Okay.
Again, you don't want your fries to be touching each other. And once you put them all in, you're gonna want to kind of just stir them around so that they are not gonna get clumped together in any kind of way.
All right. Can I give a quick shout out?
Quick shout out to
Keith O'Brien. What's up, man? I'm
Keith
gonna see you in
O'Brien?
LA soon, okay?
Keith Price.
Keith Price. Oh my God, that's right. Yes.
Sure you will.
Hey, we're gonna chill soon, all right? We're gonna be somewhere out there fishing and grilling and chilling. All right. That's Cat's pops, all right?
Yes, Keith Price. Eileen O'Brien is my mom.
My bad.
All right.
And shout out to the whole O'Brien family, all right?
Shout out. Shout out to you.
For sure, man. We got East Coast, West Coast thing going on. I mean, it's been like that since the beginning, so
Since
one
the
love,
beginning.
man.
All right, so our fries are
Good
in
fries.
for the second batch of frying time. Again, I'm just going to want to stir them around a bit so that they're not sticking together.
Yes.
I really need to get like an overhead camera for you guys to see,
Yeah, we need somebody to direct
but
it.
I'm not that technical quite yet.
Yeah.
I really just need someone to give me my own show so then they could do all that for me. All right.
So
How
we're
much?
doing good. We have like 2 minutes.
It's already 8. I guess Instagram doesn't kick you off anymore.
For real? It says 7:58 on this microwave.
I can't see.
Did you start on time?
Delayed.
I think I started on time.
8.
Same
It
time.
might-
Wow, Instagram is no longer a hater to the small creative person? What? I'm not kicked off after an hour? let me not jinx it. Let me just talk a little.
So is this after hours?
This is
Yeah,
after
this is
hours.
after hours.
All right,
Yes.
so Gil, your
Imagine
broccolini. Sorry. Gil's broccolini is done. If you want to take this and show this to the people,
To the world.
you can show that your garlic is not so burnt. It's not so burnt. Not burnt. It's a little brown, but it's not burnt.
It's got all that
What would
flavor. It's got that butter, that garlic. You know what I'm saying?
So you can turn the heat off on that, and we're basically ready for that. Whenever you're making French fries,
Smells good.
it is the last thing that you want to do. So you want to have everything else ready so you can eat fresh fries. Question?
What would you call your show?
I don't know. Any good ideas for what I call my show? Probably why I don't have one. I haven't visualized it completely all the way through.
I don't know. 21 Chef.
21 Chef.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
surprised you didn't call it Chat's Cafe or Cat's
Le
Cafe.
chat. Le chat.
Actually, fun fact, chat means cat in
Cat.
French.
In French, yes.
Sometimes Chris calls me that.
Yeah.
Chatleen.
In Paris especially, the chat is big out there, man. I'm telling
Yeah.
Chat, not chat.
Chat. My bad.
It's a family show, no chatting.
No, they say chat.
I thought it's
Le
chat.
chat. No, le chat.
Oh,
All
look
right.
at me, Uncle. Wait, those
Look
are
at
the
that.
wrong. Those are the wrong tongs.
Oh, sorry.
Gil is over here using broccolini tongs.
Didn't mean to tongue
For,
mix. My bad.
Oh, apparently the Lakers are playing, so I guess we need to hurry, Gil.
Oh, shoot.
All right, so on our second fry, quickly.
We're good, right?
Second fry, we just want them to get golden brown and crispy. So it shouldn't take that long.
We're good,
Yeah, I would let it go just a second longer.
We're good. 10 seconds.
Just move it around a little bit so it's evenly cooking.
They didn't see the broccolini. Gil neglected the broccolini for the Facebook friends.
Oh, I went past
Oh.
that camera. Oh, my
Make
bad.
sure you show.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to let you guys know, Gil, if you're using two different tongs when you're frying, make sure to always remember to use your French fry tongs for only French fries, because if you have moisture on your tongs and you put them in the hot oil, they're gonna spit back at you. All right. Oh wait, Gil, I'll let you do the honors.
Yes.
Gil is gonna take out our batch of fries.
Are they ready?
They're ready.
They should be a little more golden brown.
No, they go.
They're
Oh,
golden.
they are golden.
Trust me, bro. All
We're
right.
the chefs over here.
Yeah.
You gotta wait for Valentine's Day for your time to shine again.
You gotta relax.
All right, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna season
I got some of that heat. Okay.
season them immediately. Walk them over. Put the tongs down so you don't hurt yourself. Walk them over to show everyone.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. Mickey D's.
Mickey D's, we coming for you.
McDowell's.
So literally, if we were to make a plate, not if, we are gonna make a plate, I would put my little strips of broccolini here, and then literally just put, ooh, these are hot, just right on
Silly hot.
top, like that.
Wild hot.
Oh my god, they're so crispy and beautiful.
Oh,
So,
magnifique.
magnifique. This is our finished plate, guys, with the New York strip, our garlic broccolini. Look at those fries. They're super crispy. I gotta pull this down. I gotta figure out this lighting a little bit better, Instagram. But look at that. That looks great, right?
Lit.
I'm very excited about this food. All right, well, anything else you want to tell anyone about our journey this evening?
I just feel like this is a nice Sunday night dinner, with you and your boo. Or with some friends too. If you guys are single ladies,
Brothers.
everybody, this is a good.
With
this is
your
a good,
COVID-free
wholesome-
friends. Please be safe
Yeah.
out there. Please vote,
Wash
as
your
we
hands.
say.
Wash your hands.
Or you can eat by yourself, right? Treat yourself.
Yeah, no,
you
treat
know?
yourself. Do your thing. What's up?
You got tested, so you're COVID free.
Yeah.
You guys, these fries are so good.
Oh yeah, they're good.
We should have maybe bought some more potatoes.
Cat,
I
you
know.
got tested, so you're COVID
We don't
free.
mix them
I am
up.
COVID free.
Let people know that you're not breaking New York laws.
No
6
no
feet,
breaking
Gil,
the
6
laws.
feet.
No, we cool.
All right, guys. Before we keep blabbering on, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for Gil coming to the house and being part of the show.
Chefleen, the great.
Appreciate you guys. If you cooked along today, please tag us in your pictures so we can see how beautiful yours came out. And if you have any questions, always feel free to DM me. And yeah, happy Sunday.
Yeah. Last question.
We got a suggestion for your new show, Steak for Single Ladies, new cooking show.
Steak for single ladies. Mm.
Oh,
Why
all right.
not?
Sorry,
Why?
bye,
Why can't it
Christopher.
just be steak to make me happy?
Steak for
The sexist
ladies.
world that we live in.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we will see you later. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, I don't know what's happening next week. I haven't planned it yet, but it's going to be great. I promise you. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.